Welcome to Another Pinche Podcast.
What's happening? We're here again with another Pinche Podcast, and I'm here with Mike from Fishtailz Magazine. What's happening, Mike?
What's up? How's it going, man? Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Can you give us a little introduction and tell us about yourself and your Fishtailz?
So my name is Michael Mendoza, and I'm the owner and creator of Fishtailz. It's a lowrider motorcycle magazine. That's what we are. And I started in January of 2019. It was an idea for like 8 years, and finally, I decided to go ahead and do it. And yeah, man, we've been doing pretty good ever since. And we started doing motorcycle shows. That was always the plan. So I think in 2021 or 2020, I think we started planning our first show. I think we got canceled because of COVID, and then so I think the following year, 2021, we went ahead and we were able to do a show.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Doing shows is our one of our big things that we do. We were just doing one show a year for the last 3 years, and then this year, our fourth year doing shows. Now I was able to do more now. So I was able to do 4 shows a year now, and hopefully that continues. Every show that we have, we're gonna try to make it an annual. So yeah, we're a lowrider magazine, man, based out of California, Central Valley. And I try to travel as far as I can everywhere. Try to, the purpose of the magazine is to get everybody involved from all over around the world, man. United States, all these other countries, everyone that's into the same thing. So, so I have to travel around, and then, getting all kinds of content from everyone, and just trying to spread the love, man. Show love to everybody.
I think I remember. I think the first time I ever met you was at Resmade in Lemoore.
Oh, okay.
At Tahachi Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of their last shows. Remember?
Okay.
I think you were over there. I think you had your magazine over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you are everywhere. I see you everywhere, trying to hustle even before you had the shows, and you were selling the magazine and doing all the content and stuff that you needed for your magazine.
Yeah.
You went from one show a year. I think how many you did? How many shows did you do in Long Beach?
We did 2. We did 2 back to back, and then the following year after that, we did one in. We did our big one in Modesto.
Mm-hmm.
And then so now this year, like I said, yeah, we kicked off the year already this year in Ontario, California. You were there. It was a great turnout, man. That was March 16th. And then so yeah, just like we're just trying to have like a tour now, and so this year we're able to do 4, and so our Southern California show was Ontario, and then next in a couple weeks here, June 23rd, we'll be in Pueblo, Colorado for kick off our show out there, our first one out of state.
Nice.
Yeah, man, and then we'll come back. And then our Northern California big show will be the Modesto, July 28th. And then we're going to go to Reno, Nevada, September 28th. So yeah, man. And then hopefully next year, if we're lucky enough, hopefully things go well, we'll try to add 2 more shows and in 2 different states. And but if things go well, that's the way it'll go.
Nice. And with you doing shows in different states, you think that California is big enough for you to keep doing a Southern California and a Northern California show, basically? I mean, you started off, you're in the Central Valley, but you're trying to cover both sides. Like you were just doing Long Beach, and then you went to Modesto, and then, like I said, you're growing now and you're doing more events.
Yeah.
For you, is the logistics or finding a place and a location that fits, that's in like realistic budget and everything else like that, is that hard to do if you're not traveling out of state?
I mean, I guess you have to find where where your people are at, where
Yes.
so I know for sure California is huge no matter where you go. So I can have two shows, a Northern California show and a Southern California show, and they're both going to do pretty well, because the scene is huge, like from one side to the other side of California, and everyone can't travel all the way to the other side of California, and so being able, so again, I'm just trying to, like, if you can't come to where I'm at, then I'm gonna try to come to you, if the market is there, or if the culture is there, so so for sure it's there on both sides of California. You just I moved it from Long Beach because the facility I was doing it at, it was just, it's really expensive to put on an event there, and then there's other places that are just as nice as that one, it just works out better for me. So the new home for the Southern California show will be in Ontario from here on out.
I like that venue. I think it fit perfect. I think the amount that you got, motorcycles and everything, and the amount of people that were there. Also, Modesto. Are you gonna have it this year in the same place as the you did last year, Modesto, or is it different?
Yes, same place.
Yeah. So I think it fits for the motorcycle. The V-Class. Tell us more about. So people don't really understand this, but you're very kind of like directed towards the lowrider style motorcycles.
Yeah.
What made you decide you want to do all your content for them?
So basically, I mean, so I've been riding motorcycles for like 15 years, but I don't consider myself a biker or nothing like that. I'm a lowrider at heart. I've always have been, ever since I was a little boy. I started with the model cars, chopping them up, doing suicide doors, suicide trunks, spray paint, candy paint jobs. I used to pinstripe them and everything myself. So anyways, then I moved on to bikes, and I did the show circuit. I had a show bike, and I used to show a bicycle, a bunch of shows, from 13 years old to like 15 years old. It's only a couple of years, but it seems like a really long time, because I was in a lowrider club, and we used to hit like in one summer, you'd hit like 15 to 20 shows, and then plus all the lowrider kickbacks, like all the barbecues everyone throws. So it was so many events back to back. So I felt like I did so much. But then I got into lowrider cars, and I started fixing up cars. But then a lot of my friends that had lowrider cars started buying Harleys, and I used to work with people that had Harleys. Man, you should get a Harley. And I always thought about it. My dad used to ride Harleys too, and he was a lowrider. Anyways, I just one day I went and got one, and then I started fixing up my bike. Try to fix it up like a lowrider bike, white wall spokes, lower it, chrome, candy paint, and then I would try to research on the internet back then, like who's helping these guys out, or who's doing something for them, and who's big on the scene, and I couldn't really find anybody that was doing something like that was really like holding it down for like these people. So for me, I felt like a lane was open right there, and as soon as I felt that, like I felt something in my body, man. Like I was like, you know what, this is what I got to do, man. So I went from doing all like lowrider car stuff, and I just went and tried to open up my own lane. And so I felt like we needed a home for these people. So that's what the magazine for. Like I always like having a magazine in the garage when we're working on something. The homies come by, like, oh shoot, you got the new magazine, let me check it out, like lowrider magazine, whatever. And then so like the magazine is something that's been dying, for a long time, but I'm gonna do whatever I have to do possible to keep this magazine tradition alive, man. I got one right here, but so honest truth, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, man. The magazine does not make any profit since the beginning. I will not lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. I do get my money back, but I do not profit off the magazine. I do other things. I sell a bunch of merch. If you go to my website, I sell kinds of stuff, accessories for motorcycles, and then I do shows. And the shows, help me pay my bills. But so what I want to say is this: I don't do the magazine to try to profit or make money off that. I already know that don't make money. I continue to do it, and I continue to do it consistently. I come out with a magazine every 3 months, a new magazine, and I've been coming out consistently every 3 months since January of 2019. I've been coming out with a magazine every 3 months. So I do it for the love, bro. Because I love the lowrider culture, whether I'm in a car or on a motorcycle. And again, I feel like this lowrider motorcycle stuff is so big and growing now. I feel like this is needed. And this is my way of showing love or doing. I feel like I'm doing my part of like the lowrider motorcycle scene by giving you this content. And we give you content from all over the world, bro. And every single magazine that I come out with, there's always one motorcycle from another country every single time. So, I network with people from all over, like a ton of countries. And I hook up with their photographers. I reach out, hey, I want this bike, this and that. Nice. And then, and then there's a ton of bikes from all over the United States, man. The states that you wouldn't even think that they're fixing up V-Class. And so yeah, man, I'm trying to get the whole V-Class scene worldwide to you, in the magazine. And then the people who can make a show, I'm trying to do these shows, move them around to give people a chance to come out and see what we're doing, man.
Yeah, make it a little easier. I mean, I think. Well, I went to 2 of your shows in Long Beach. I went to those, and then you had a good mix. When I went to Modesto last year, I know you had motorcycles from San Diego, you had from SoCal, you had Central Valley, Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure, you just having the one show you did in the last couple of years, you still brought in people from everywhere. So now you get more variety of also people staying locally that don't want to travel maybe or stuff like that. But one thing you did say, and it makes a lot of sense, because I went to a couple shows, motorcycle shows, because I want to, me as a photographer, I just want to go check out a couple other motorcycle shows. And I saw like they had like a little group of like lowrider style motorcycles. Like you had everything else. You had the choppers, you had all the other type of motorcycles, custom, everything. But then you had just like a little corral section with the lowrider style lowrider bikes. Okay. And other than the major car shows, there was never really one venue that wants to set up for just the lowrider style motorcycles.
Yeah.
And nowadays too, when you have people, I mean, even I remember late 90s, people started making their motorcycles match their cars for lowriders.
Yeah.
So,
so even though I cater more to the lowrider motorcycle, I do, because I enjoy like all the other motorcycles too, man. Because even if it's not a lowrider motorcycle, like, man, they put in all kinds of work, bro, and their bikes are just as nice. They're just a different style. So, I'm able to appreciate all these other styles, whether if it's an old school chopper or the big wheel bikes or, whatever it is, I like it all. So, I welcome everyone to the show, and I I make sure that I make enough awards to give out to any type of bikes that pull up, man. If they pull up, and there's going to be a category for you. And we'll make the correct category for you, and give people a chance. And so now, like, I used to only give prize money out to the Softails and to like the baggers, because those would be the two main ones that everyone fixes up, like a V-Class. But so I now open it up, and I give money out to the big wheel bikes. And then there's another style of bike called Performance, where they kind of like beef up the engines, and it's kind of like a big wheel bike too. But so I give out money to that bike.
The bikes.
Yeah, and then I also give out money to the chopper bikes. And so like there's 5 categories. I give title belts and prize money as well. So I open it up, man. And the Ontario show, I try to let that be known that was going to happen. And we did have some badass choppers and different style of bikes join us as well, man. And everyone enjoyed themselves, so yeah, man, I want to put out there, let everybody know that this motorcycle show also though is for everyone, and everyone will be recognized.
So let's get into how, you're talking about the getting the trophies and everything like that. Like, a lot of people don't understand all the work that goes behind having a show, period, right? And as you have a magazine now, you're doing your own events. What are some of the things that people don't realize as a promoter you have to do to get this event like legitimately going, and for everybody to be happy? Like, I mean, and I'm not just talking about like the participants. You got to do permit, security, the fire marshal, all that stuff like that. That's a thing that probably stresses you out, what, right there the weekend of the show, more than anything, right?
Yeah, I think I've done it enough times, man, where I don't let it bother me. I just kind of, because if you start thinking about stuff too much, man, then it, it starts becoming like an issue, and it starts bothering you, and then you start stressing. But I kind of know, I know the process already, so I just kind of just go with the flow. But there is a ton of stuff, like, if there's so much that's involved with putting on an event besides on it. Besides money, man, money is one of the big things. I couldn't do a show for the longest time, man. I had a nice convertible Impala. I had to sell that, and I had to sell a nice motorcycle, and I had to have money saved up on top of that, and to be able to host my first event. And so besides having the funds and all that, there's so much that goes. You got to talk to all kinds of different people on the phone and set up different things, and even just, you don't talk to one person from the convention center. You're talking to, there's various things that goes on with your show. And so you're talking to 4 or 5 different people to organize this for the, and they're all from the convention center. And then plus, like you said, you got your fire marshal, you got to hire security, you got to hire police, and that stuff's mandatory, and then, so, and, I don't know, there's just a lot that goes on with it, man. You got to do awards. You have to, so since I was always entering bicycles and in shows when I was a kid, by the first year around of showing bikes, you kind of knew already, or I knew what they were going to judge you on. Like, you would ask, like, the judges, hey, like, let me see the score sheet so I know what you judge. And then, so, because sometimes like what we did is, like, I used to have a 3-wheel bicycle, a Schwinn, and then so I would go around and see like which ones had like more stuff than me or less stuff than me, to see like kind of where I was going to be, first place, second place, or third place, whatever. So I learned all that kind of stuff when I was young. And I knew the whole process of, like, when you get to a show, what's going to happen, how they're going to park you. So then by the time I wanted to throw my shows, like, I knew all that stuff like the back of my hand. So for me to throw an event is very easy, but because I grew up all around that, like, my whole life, since a kid, and then even with cars, I used to enter cars and shows as well. So for me, it's easy, but that's because I have the background. But there's a lot, man, that's involved in putting on event. And then, for me, what's important, man, is putting an event on at a nice venue. Like, sometimes I back out, and I'm going to have a show somewhere, and then I'll cancel it because I go check out the place and it's kind of run down. And, I want a nice place for everyone to come to, right? Like, you don't want to walk in some place like, oh shit, this, you want to, it's kind of like walking into a wedding or like a quinceañera, you want a nice place where you feel comfortable, you're dressed in your best clothes. And, so, I try to make it as nice as possible, professional as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
For the people that always go, well, I can do that, or I can, they always say that they can have a show, or they, people that talk out of their ass. And what do you, what is your, let's just put it this way, what is your best advice for someone with the attitude of, well, I can throw a show? No, what's the big deal?
Man, I guess try to go for it, man, and really see what happens. Oh, I could wish you the best luck, man.
Mm.
It's not that easy, and you'll see if that's what you're trying to do. Anybody could do it, but you have to be super serious about it, and you have to be ready, man, because. And on top of that, you got to get your staff ready too. You got to get people ready that are gonna, you have to put certain people in charge of different things that's going on. There's a lot that goes on. One person can't run the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
And there's so much that's involved. I would,
yeah,
and just see what happens, man. But and seriously, I wish everybody luck, man. I don't care if I think there's enough room for everybody, bro. So if somebody wanted to like give it a shot or something, try it, man, and see what happens. And you'll figure it out eventually.
When you do the event, you have like a certain amount of vendors, and then you're gonna have a DJ and entertainment. What do is it just like first come first serve for vendors, or you kind of do you have to allot like so many vendors for like say bicycle parts or motorcycle parts or clothing brands and stuff like that? All that planning goes into an event. How do you go about that?
So okay, so I go off of the square footage off of the place, whatever, and I have like a blueprint, and with a bunch of 10x10s, and exactly the way it's gonna look the day of the show, with aisles to walk and all that. And then so I figure out how many motorcycles I want, and then how many vendor spaces I want to sell or have available, and then as far as like how you were saying, like how many of a certain kind of vendor you want to have. I don't like to hate on anybody, bro. Like I don't like to tell somebody like, you know what, I already got 3 guys that are selling this. I don't want you're not going to be able to attend my event. I don't do that. If there's 4 people that sell Lowrider bike parts or whatever that it is, sarapes or whatever, I'm going to let everybody join, because the best man's is gonna sell their product. If you got a mouthpiece or if you got a better product, I mean, everything's a hustle, right? So I think everyone should have a fair opportunity. So I don't stop or cap it at a certain number. So and I played off here, man. Like I let as many motorcycles they want to come and as many vendors, and then I'm just I'm counting my spaces, and then I'll cut it off wherever I need to once we start getting full. But I've been pretty blessed, man, that every show that I've had so far up till this point, like every single space is sold. And I feel pretty blessed, man, and I think it's growing, bro, still, and a lot of more lowrider bicycles, a lot of more pedal cars are joining my events, and it's I don't really know why, but it could be that I give away pretty good prize money, and I do that on purpose, man. Because even though they're, some of the bicycles have the same amount of money as some of these motorcycles, man.
Oh yeah.
There's, a lot of people put a lot of time and money in that, and then there's a lot of people that have money too in these little pedal cars as well. So I try to give a little more than most shows do, and then the same thing with the motorcycles, man, because I want everyone works super hard on their builds, and I think they deserve it, man. So yeah.
Because you do have more, you do have lowrider bikes at your show. That means so you cater to all ages, and I mean, of course, we know there's adults. There's some beach cruisers and completely custom framed bicycles that are like, wow. It's just the leather work. I've seen some of the stuff that's there, and oh my god, it's like they really did a lot of design and stuff like that, and those beach cruiser style bicycles and stretch bicycles and stuff like that is pretty amazing when you really look at it, and if you take your time, because you're just like, well, you know, are they even rideable, or would you even want to ride it? You know how that goes. It's like you put all that time into your motorcycle and stuff like that. And um
Yeah.
but for the events, what are you, so tell us what would average person, let's just say a spectator that's wants to go check out your show, what are they going to see when they walk in the door?
Shit. Well, for sure, they're not gonna see like an ordinary motorcycle or bicycle that they see regularly on the street, and I think that's what makes the show. These bikes, man, some of these motorcycles have close to 100 grand in them. Super show. Just pieces of art, man, on two wheels, and they're gonna see incredible bikes, man. That only come out in magazines or that only come out in big shows, man. Honest truth. Other than that, those bikes usually just stay parked. There are a lot of guys that do have super nice bikes that ride them as well, and I give all those guys a lot of credit also. And a lot of people talk shit about the guys that have super nice bikes that don't ride them, but those guys, most of those guys, they have another bike that's kind of fixed up, and then they ride that one, and this is just their little show bike, so if you got the money, man, I respect it, bro. But they're gonna see these amazing bikes, man. A lot of them, some of them sit on turntables, and the other ones are just displayed, really nice. From bicycles, motorcycles, pedal cars, you're gonna see all these show stuff. Some of the top vendors of that are in the scene are usually at my events. So you're gonna get a bunch of stuff. If you like buying all kinds of different merch, like the popular people are usually at my events. We have food, and then there's always live entertainment, man. If it's not a DJ spinning, we try to get an oldies band. Honest truth, we did get a rapper this time, but this last time in Ontario, I don't like. I'll tell you right now, I don't like getting like rappers, and I'll tell you why. But this guy, we got hired a Desi Hollow. He's like, he sings, he raps like really like a cool, like laid back, like kind of like positive, like West Coast rap, whatever. Yeah. And so that's why I went ahead and hired him. But I usually do oldie bands and stuff like that, because I feel like my goal at every show also is to have a super positive vibe, bro. Yeah. I don't want any problems. Nobody wants any problems. We want everything to run super smooth. And just like every show so far has been going. So, you hire a certain type of entertainment, you're going to get a certain type of crowd come in, Yeah. And I love rap music, man. But, so anyways, I try to be smart with the choices that I make to be able to continue to have a great event where everyone could come with their family, from toddlers all the way to your grandpa or grandma, if you want to bring them. There's something fun for everybody there, man. Everyone could enjoy a beautiful bike, man. That these paint jobs, bro, that these guys lay down, man. Or some of them are like just really amazing. And then all the craftsmanship, man. Yeah. Custom made parts and the engraving. There's so much to stare at, man. All those tooled seats. So there's so much, man, that you will not see anywhere else. And what I'm blessed, man, is people take their time, bro, and come from so many different states to bring these motorcycles, bro. I've been I pay, I count to see how many different states, and some shows that we have like bikes from like 9 different states. I've had shows up to 14 different states. People have brought bikes from 14 different states. People have traveled 25, 26 hours just to get to the show. And so, I think that says a lot, man. I try to keep it as professional as I can, quality show. We do give out awards, it is kind of like a competition, but at the same time, bro, it's just, I don't even look at the competition part. It's a place for us to gather in unity with all these other people with the same liking, and just and meeting new people, and then seeing people again, that you met last time, and
Yeah.
it's just a good day, man. I guarantee you come out to one of my shows, you're gonna remember something about that show that's gonna stay with you probably forever, man. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good time, man. You're gonna have a good laugh. You're gonna see some cool stuff. So it's definitely something to check out, man. If somebody's out there and hasn't or thinking about checking out the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll take it when, one thing I remember we talked a long time ago, and, it's like, make it a destination event. Sometimes it makes, like, if you've been to the show in Long Beach, then you're going to go, hey, I want to go check out the show in Colorado, or, I want to go check out the show in Reno, and, and see what's going to be different there, because, you already kind of know, okay, Fishtail's going to have this show. They're going to have this event. This is what we saw, like, in Long Beach, or this is what we saw in Ontario. So you're going to make, people like to travel. They want to see the same thing, but different. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and that's the concept of, with any show circuit, with any promoters, car shows, whatever your event is, the goal is you're going to pull some people that have been there to a different event before. They just want to go see different things, but they know the promoter throws a good event.
Right.
And like you're saying, when your Long Beach show right after COVID, you had bikes from New Mexico. I talked to people from New Mexico, Arizona. I remember, there was some pretty nice bikes. People had a story to tell. They start telling you why they put murals on the bike. What is this? What does this mean? This was in memory of somebody. The When it comes down to it, there's a story to tell. It's like tattoos, right? Or like, and stuff like
Yes.
that. The reason why they build their bike is for whatever reason it may be. It could be, they could be a shop and they just wanted to build a bike. But I
Yeah.
think for most people don't realize that each motorcycle, each custom build in there has a story to tell. And
Everybody's special.
yeah, and everything. And there's a lot of reasons for why people do the custom bikes and everything else like that. You've had a few celebrities at your events.
A couple. Yeah, we had Richard Cabral one year. I think that might have been our first or second year in Long Beach, and that was pretty cool. He was, by that time, he was already, like, very well known, and it was a big shot on his Mayans TV show.
Yeah.
So we were pretty blessed to have him. We also did a photo shoot with him. I don't know if it was prior to that, before that, but we put him on the front cover of one of my magazines. I think it's issue number 8. But we did a photo shoot with his personal bike, because he's he actually rides as well.
Nice.
But I mean, we hired the old school legendary band, Malo de Sing Suavecito. We just hired. They're going to be at the Modesto show on July 28th. That song Suavecito. I mean, they have a lot of good songs, but that song Suavecito is like, it's a super classic, man.
There's brands named after that. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it has something to do with some of that stuff that goes along with that song.
Yeah,
Malo,
I mean,
huh?
that's a banger, But so yeah, pretty blessed, man, to be able to hire them as well. But yeah, I mean, we try, we try to do. When I say we, I'm talking like in the third person, but I try to do, what I can, But as we grow, as I grow my business, hopefully we'll be able to get, even bigger names, in entertainment for the crowd, hopefully, So, but everything's in time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the old school bands and stuff, they fit better. They give a better vibe. You have people dancing. Everybody has a good time.
Yes.
It's less attitude. I think that with the old school, any events, other promoters, car shows, maybe whatever. But I realize when you have the old school bands, there's just less attitudes.
Yes, I definitely agree.
But the vibe's different. People want to dance and stuff like that. And I think that when you have that at a good event and you have room for everybody to watch, you're not gonna sit there and just listen to the band. If you're gonna sit there and get on the floor and people are gonna dance, even if they're just mildly dancing, whatever, but
Yeah,
it changes the vibe. It makes for a good, environment. People walking around and enjoying themselves in a controlled environment with security and everything else like that.
yeah,
But so you have the so Colorado, right? Is your
yeah.
next that's June.
June 23rd. It's a Sunday.
Mm,
It's coming up here pretty quick.
yeah.
And some people trip out too. Like, man, you're doing like stuff out of state. Like you're not over there. Like to like I don't care where a show is gonna be at.
Yeah.
I just need to know the size of the building, and then make my blueprint, and I'll figure it out when I get there. But yeah, man, I'm pretty excited to do the
Yeah.
Colorado one. I went to New Mexico to an event
Mhm.
that's at Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is 4 hours away from where my show's going to be in
Yeah.
Puebla. And a bunch of guys from Colorado came to a motorcycle event, and then all the guys from Albuquerque. It's big over there, man. The
Nice.
V-class scene. So I met all kinds of cool people, man. Very, very nice people. Hospitality was actually amazing, man. I met some really nice people, good people, and there's Colorado's so huge. It's a really big state. And then you got Denver's huge, and Denver's at 4 hours from where we're going to be at.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of people coming from Denver, a bunch of people coming from New Mexico. There's bikes already registered from like Wyoming and a couple other states that way. And so I'm looking forward to meeting like all these new people, man.
Yeah.
And still seeing seeing everybody again that I met last time when I was out there. But so yeah, man, we're excited, man, for this show. And I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I have no idea, but we're coming out to show them support, to make a place for them to, have a show, and hopefully it goes well, and we'll keep it an annual show, we'll keep on coming back. So I'm just trying to spread the love, man.
And then what do you have? Do you have the entertainment? And can you tell us what kind of like what to expect for the show? You got a couple weeks going, and what's your entertainment and everything else?
You know what, man? For this one, we're just gonna have a live DJ. If we have some live performers, there might be like some local singers that we were talking to, that they do events out there. So since this is the first one out there, I'm just trying to get a feel for it. I didn't want to hire like big names, or like do something big and then not knowing what the outcome is going to be. I do plan on continue to coming back if the show is well. So let's say like, okay, I expected what it was going to be, like a good amount of people come. Then next year I'm going to put even more money into this event and make sure that it's even better than this year. So it's going to be a great show, like every other Fishtailz show, with like with quality motorcycles and bicycles and a good atmosphere.
Nice.
So for sure they could expect a great show. And like I said, as we come back, we'll every show that I try to do, I always try to top it the following year anyway. So
definitely. And then, well, one of the things people understand, I think, and you can, pretty much agree with me or disagree or anything, but for me working behind the scenes with all the promoters in different events and stuff like that, the number one concern is your walk-ins. That is what makes or breaks the show for most promoters. Is if they don't get good walk-ins, it's gonna hurt you in your, getting your money back for doing the show. What do you say about that? Like
100%. That's exactly what it is, man. Because that's going to determine if because there's so much money put into these shows also, so I got to cover the building, I got to cover police, security, fire marshal, awards, all my staff. It's a lot of money, right? And so I mean, honest truth, so your walk-ins and basically even if you just break even, you're fine, man. You're good because you know, the goal is to make sure that you put on a good event.
Yeah.
Was the event good? Yes. And you just broke even. You know what? It's all right because word of mouth
Mhm.
is, you know, is the next time around, you know, things should be better. The numbers should pick up.
Yeah.
As long as you keep on doing
Consistency.
a good event, man, and you know you're a positive person, or not even positive, but you're a good person,
Mhm.
you know, and you put on a great show, you know, people are going to talk and they're going to continue to come out and more people are going to hear about it. So things will get better, I guess I'll say. But yeah, walk-ins is everything.
Yeah, consistency at the end of the day. And I think that, well, I think from what you've been doing in the last couple of years since you've thrown your show right after COVID and everything else is consistency. You still had the show once a year. Now you have what, four, you said four this year.
Yes.
So you build it to one show to technically a tour,
Yeah.
and you've had more than one event. So, and like you said, if the time is right to expand and everything else like that, but I think you've shown that that's how it's working for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Thank
definitely working. You know.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, you know, it is. And, you know, this was all a dream one time and just, you know, something I wish I could really do. But you know, I think this was like my calling, man. I've been attending lowrider car shows since I was 11 years old, man. Like every show that I could attend, I was
Yeah.
there. I would have asked my mom or my dad to take me, and I would go with my parents, bro, because I was so young, I had nobody else to go with, and you know, I'll just go walk around and. Honest truth, I'm like, since a little kid, I've been obsessed, man, with lowriding. Like that's the only thing that was ever on my mind.
Mhm.
Like, how am I gonna fix up my lowrider bike? How am I gonna fix up my car or whatever? Like, so like, and exactly what you know what I used to do was like enter
Yeah.
bicycles and all that shit. It was always on my mind. This is exactly what I'm like what I'm doing now. For you know, for other people now, you know, now I'm that guy that's putting on events that you know, that's getting everybody, you know, everyone's like getting their bikes ready now, you know,
Mhm.
like, oh shit, you know, hey, the big show's coming, man. And so, you know, I'm happy to be able to do that.
Yeah.
um, so
Inspiring the next generation to do it the
yes,
same way that you did. You know,
definitely, man.
and you know, I think, like I said, I was in Modesto, and you know, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's like there's so much to do. There's so much to see at the same time. You get bikes from everybody else, everywhere else, and me being a photographer and a videographer, it's like I actually had to learn to change the way I do some stuff because it is different to shoot a bike and like a lowrider bike and a motorcycle. The details are different
Yes,
sometimes, and so I have to do things a little bit different than I would do with just a car.
different
And
angles.
yeah,
Or,
different angles, everything, and the way they lean the bike and how they set it up. And
okay.
one of the things, one of the things that I realized too was like people stand right behind the bikes and they just think like you're taking a picture of the bike, but then they're like in the photo and everything else there, and
Mm,
everybody's just hanging out, but I think that it's fun. It gets pretty fun. I had my son I brought my son to your Ontario show and went there,
okay.
and he had fun, and he was over there. I had him on my holding my other phone gimbal and being on on live, and I was taking pictures
Nice.
of the models, and someone goes, "Hey, aren't you like 11 or 12?" And he's like, "Oh, we're not talking about that right now because I was taking pictures of a model." And
That's
but the vibes there, bro, and everybody seems to have a good time, and it is, it is pretty fun. I've actually never ridden a motorcycle,
yeah.
but I've always loved bikes. I've always loved motorcycles. I always liked my even my uncle gave me um his old stack of Chopper magazines. I actually found them at my grandmother's, and then he let me have them.
Cool, man. Hell yeah.
Yes. So like
No,
that old school 70s,
yeah,
60s and 70s stuff, man. I've always been a fan of a motorcycle. But I don't know. But
yeah,
I like checking them out though.
yeah, man. It's for some reason, man. It's always like a good feeling, a good vibe, man. Like you know, when you come to my events, I'm not saying it because it's my event, but
Mhm.
I don't have enough time at my show to enjoy myself. because I'm busy all day, really, and then I gotta try to get content as well. Like myself, even though like you actually help me, provide, like a great content for my page and all that as well. But man, I'm busy. I gotta deal with things, but as I'm walking around, I'm paying attention to like everyone's reactions, like as they're walking, what they're doing. Everyone is like really happy, bro, smiling, laughing, or like everyone's tripping out, pointing at some motorcycle or like something that they did to it. Like everyone's like engaged, and it's just a super positive, like fun vibe, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that right there makes me happy to like, this is why I do it, bro.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I'm happy with the outcomes.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think that's what, that's what's coming of that. And I see it there. I definitely see it, bro. I give you props, that's why I keep like, hey, I want to go. When you said you were going to have that Ontario show, I was out there anyway. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go out there. I'm like, the content's great, it's obviously lowrider related, right? And then, I'm trying to have a good time too, and just looking at new things. To me, it's different from your normal event. Everybody had to go to a car show to even enjoy most of these motorcycles before. So thank you, and I appreciate that you're doing this for the genre and the style of bikes. You're taking that risk to make it bigger than you have, and you're going the extra mile, having multiple shows and everything like that. So I do appreciate that. And so your Modesto event is the July 28th, correct?
Yeah, it's a Sunday. Yeah. Shout out to Tavares. Is it Tavares?
Yeah, Tavares.
Having their show the day before. Originally, I was going to have mine that day, but then I didn't want it to clash with theirs. And then, and I know he's going to have a great turnout because, he always puts on a good car show. And then, I set mine for that Sunday, and summertime, man, it's going to be, great weather. It might be a little hot, but
that's mostly an indoor event though.
Yeah, it's mostly indoor. You know what, man? Talking about that show, the Modesto show. So I have a big outside area.
Yeah,
like a really big, long rectangle. We used half of it last time for trailers, and the other half we kind of just, we had vendors and motorcycles as well.
Yeah.
But this time around, we're going to keep all the motorcycles inside and bicycles and stuff like that inside. But we're going to add a car show linked up to it, whatever. And we're already pretty much almost full. We got I think we got like 20 car spots left, but it's going to fill up. All kinds of people are asking about it.
Nice.
So we'll have a stage outside as well too. We're going to have live entertainment. So for this Modesto show indoors, we're going to have a DJ, and then we're going to have a Malo performing, the legendary band, they'll be there. And then outside, we have a really kick-ass old school band too that plays, nothing but like Chicano old school funk. They're a really awesome band. They're going to be playing out there. And then I hired some chick from Denver. She's a really good singer, man. And she's going to come and do like a Selena tribute.
Okay.
So she'll dress up like her and she sings just like her. And so she's going to do her thing out there too as well. There's going to be all kinds of vendors, bro, taco trucks, like people selling aguas, lemonade, all kinds of good food, bro. It's going to be a really, really good time. You went last time, bro, and it was packed. It was a packed show.
It was packed.
And I know for a fact, bro, it's gonna be even bigger, or more people that are gonna be here than even last year. And I felt like I had to walk sideways like most of the time, like to get through people, man. It was that packed. So I expect more people to be at this one. So I'm super excited. The Modesto show is it does it's a big event, man. And it's not a huge uh city like Sacramento or San Jose,
Mhm.
but I'm definitely putting it on the map, man. I'll say that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, but that's what, like, places like, I like Modesto. I used to live there for a while, and it's, it has a nickname called Little San Jose because over the years a lot of people moved out there from San Jose, so the
Yeah.
vibes there, and it's actually probably one of the most. It's probably the biggest little city out there. I mean,
Yeah.
because they have a mall and um,
Hmm.
even though I lived there during COVID, but the thing was is that it was, to me, it was the most modern, up to date. They were constantly new stores, new
Oh,
everything
yeah,
there.
for
But
sure.
the vibes there, we went. I remember going. I went to the after party afterwards, and we just
Yeah.
ate and stuff like that. And but definitely gonna be able to make it because I was like, okay, when I said, oh, it's gonna be on a Sunday now and stuff like that, so I'll be out there doing my thing, taking pictures, all that good stuff, pushing content,
Thank you.
and but yeah, I mean, if you haven't experienced it, go check it out. And yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend, but it's worth it. I mean, from Salinas to Modesto, if you're gonna be one or the other, and vice versa, at the end of the day, definitely go check out that Modesto. Um, and then uh your final show for the year is gonna be in Reno, huh?
Yeah, so the Reno one came about because there's always there's a really popular motorcycle rally that
Mm.
weekend in Reno called Street Vibrations.
Oh, it's the weekend of street Fighter. I didn't, dude. I
Yeah,
didn't even put that together. Honestly, I didn't even
yeah,
realize it off the top.
yeah, man. So it's the same weekend, and honest truth, for the last, and I don't mean to talk bad at all because I don't talk down or bad about anyone doing anything, but that rallies, everyone says, it has, man, been kind of like hasn't been the best as it used to be.
Mhm.
And anyways, I reached out and I wanted to know if I reached out to the convention center. Hey, are they using what is it being used, the convention center this year? And
Yes.
and they said no. And I was like, well, I throw motorcycle shows. It's the same weekend as a rally. Are you guys good with me coming in and having a show here and same time? And they're like,
Mhm.
oh, we would love to have you, this and that. And so the people are going to be there already in the city. There's
Yeah.
going to be thousands of motorcyclists already in the city. So what they do out there is they don't have they do everything but have like a badass custom show during that rally. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to bring the show there. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing, man. We're gonna have our custom motorcycle show there the same weekend, and what I'm doing with this
Find
show,
your flyer. I'm just was looking at something. I was like,
what I'm doing with this show is it's gonna be a late show. So this show's gonna finish like at 9 o'clock at night,
oh,
and we're doing that because um, they do have like a little function that's kind of cool on Saturday over there in Virginia City. They do something like a little rally thing, and then I think that's over around like 2 or 3. And then after that, honest truth, because I go every year. After that, there's nothing really to do. You just
yeah.
go to the bars or just try to find something to do to kill time for the rest of the day. So now, we got the Fishtailz show, and so from there you can head over to my event and hang out for the rest of the night, and then hit the casinos after that, man. It's definitely gonna be a good time.
Oh, that's gonna be different. Yeah. No, I like I said, I've never been out there for street vibrations. I know a lot of people go out there just to go. I know one of my uncles goes out there almost every year, and then because he rides, um, and then I know, of course, most people go out there just to party. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
But that sounds like that sounds like that'll be pretty fun. I don't know. I
yeah,
can check. I gotta double check my schedule. Maybe I might have to go out there. Yeah, I know a
yeah.
lot of my family goes out there, and I never
Oh,
go that weekend. So
there's a ton of people that don't ride that go, just because it's a fun time, man.
yeah,
Yeah. And when you're there, you don't. you don't really ride your motorcycle that much. You might take a cruise, or like I said, some people run to like this little town for a couple hours on Saturday and then come back. But for the main part, everyone's just chilling, downtown, and going through the different casinos and just having a good time, man. So I would definitely, I would love to have you there, bro.
Yeah, I'll see if I can make it.
All right.
As of right now, before we end, one question: as now that you've been doing this for a little while, is there one thing that you know now that you wished you knew in the very beginning
Um,
for the promoting for the shows?
I didn't know that there was gonna be haters, bro. Nah, I'm just kidding. Uh, uh, that's true, but now, I don't know, man. Nah, and man, and I don't want to try to act like I know everything, but like, I just like I came with this background already, like with like entering shows back and forth, back to back, back to back. So like I already knew what it was gonna be. So like I said, man, it's easy for me to put on a show just because I lived that whole process over and over and over again. But you know what? I didn't know I was gonna meet so many cool people, bro. I've met so many cool people from so many different places. People like from other states that end up becoming like my really good friends, bro, that I talk to on a weekly basis.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool, man, because like good friendships are hard to come by, bro.
Absolutely.
And I have good people, man, like in various different states, and they know who they are, man. And so honest truth, I think that's one of the coolest things, because it goes further than that, bro.
Yeah.
Like now when I go visit those states, like to take us like a little weekend vacation, I let them know ahead of time, and we'll make time to go have dinner together, like, and I don't know, man, like it's cool to have people in other places, and you don't have to see each other all the time, but we met through this motorcycle stuff, and now we're like almost family, bro. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And that's one thing I always have advocated people understand in the lowrider culture. The amount of people you meet that are truly like genuine and they keep it real, and you have the people that keep it real, and they're and they're a little rough and direct, and then there's the people that are they come to you and say, oh, I know you're going through this or that, and they really genuinely give a shit, and they like make sure they check on you and stuff like that. It's a different vibe. And I've always said, like, people think it's all gangs and it's this and that and drama and who's tough and who's badass. But you know what? At the end of the day, some of these badass people make sure no one mess with you, and at the same time, they also make sure you're good, like you take care of you. They ask how your kids are. The mentality is not what people stereotypically don't understand, that we're not like that.
Well, so me, I'm used to like the lowrider car vibe. So like, you have all these OG, homeboys, vatos, whatever, and like they got in trouble like in their time when they were younger. Like now that we're older, everybody like, bro, we just want to have a good laugh, throw some carne asada on the grill, bump some oldies, man. Like, walk around and check out everybody's cars, just trip out, be mellow. It's about respect, bro, about respecting one another, and pretty much kind of treating each other like brothers, bro. It's a brotherhood, as well as like a lifestyle for a lot of us, man. And no one wants to get into trouble, man. Most of us have family and kids now, man, and and we have to watch what we do so that our kids follow a good mentor, so. But yeah, man, I like the vibes. Well, you probably remember, I grew up in the early '90s, like going to all these shows, and it was pretty crazy, bro.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gang banging at that time, man.
That's the
I,
truth of it. That is the truth of it. And then the people grew to appreciate life and like real life, like to have things, to work hard for things, to the people that made it through all that stuff, the
yeah,
people that, what I mean, or they made it, they got in trouble, they changed, whatever it may be, they
yeah,
made it through that. And now they know a different value in
yeah,
family and friends and just being able to appreciate things because when you're always getting in trouble, you can't hold on to nothing, right?
yeah. No, so definitely the vibe of this era right now that we have is definitely a good one, man. Um, and I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It's definitely we're at a good place right now.
Yeah, and you can look back at that, and like I said, '90s and everything else, and all that stuff, and you look back and go, "Who would have ever thought that things have changed so much?" But you know what? It's a good thing, and
Yes.
it's like, and you know, um, doing the things you do now and everything else. Like I said, I wish you the best. More, hope everything goes good with your show in Colorado,
Thank
and
you, bro.
then we'll be touching more base, and then I'll see you in like another month and a half in
Yeah.
Modesto.
All right.
So
And the focus was on me, man. But uh, I want to give props to you, bro. You've been doing your thing since back in the day, since I remember. You try to be everywhere as well, and you do
yeah,
a great job, man, at what you do. And your page is super popular, man. And I want to give credit to you as well, bro. You keep up, the same thing, and you're always welcome to my events, man. I always enjoy. I'm always happy when you're when you show up, bro. So, thank you. I support you, bro, 100%.
all right. Well, thank you, and once again, I appreciate your time for coming up on my new podcast. And I know
Yeah,
I've had you on the old one, and it never really went anywhere. But you know what? This one is starting to kind of move, and I'm not slowing down. So just like you, keep working on a dream, and and I'm just staying focused. So
right
uh,
on.
definitely,
Uh, yeah, if I could say something, man, before we end, man. There's man like there's so many. I'm just gonna make it quick, but there's so many people too, bro, that are there's like a bunch of haters and drama people like
mm,
everywhere, and everything that you do, bro. It doesn't matter what you're into. I just want to put out there for myself, bro, that anyone listening, there's not one person that I don't like, that I dislike. I'm 100%. Even if I know, bro, some people, there's haters and they talk. I still don't say nothing about them.
yeah,
I don't worry about them, bro. I got too much on my plate. I got too much things that I'm doing, and uh, you know, that's a problem that they need to fix themselves, bro. They're probably mad at themselves, and I don't know what, but I just want to let everybody know that I'm a super positive person, and I'm here to grow the culture,
yeah,
the lowrider motorcycle culture, and with everyone from all over the world, bro, all over the United States. This magazine is for everybody. It's for you guys. I put it out
mm,
for the community. So I'm here for everyone. I just want
yeah.
to let everybody know that.
Yep, and that's the way it should be. I mean, ultimately, whatever issues people have, you just got to keep going. And I think that I give that advice, friend. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you got to do. They're gonna either keep talking or they're not. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're gonna be living in the negative vibes, and you're gonna be just striving to do what you need to take care of for yourself. So
Correct, man.
that's right. Don't let
Yep.
no one slow you down just because they don't agree or they don't want to support you.
Correct. Yep. Right on, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you again, and have a good one. And like I said, best of luck in Colorado.
Right on, brother. We'll keep in touch.
All right.
Pinches Lowriders.